The Maharajah Jungle Trek at Disney's Animal Kingdom is a truly immersive experience that seemingly transports you to another world. The story begins to unfold from the moment you set foot on the trail. As you explore the area, you'll encounter grand stone structures depicting scenes from the jungle's past, reminding us of the important relationship between humans and nature. As the story goes, this place was once a private hunting lodge for a wealthy Maharaja, or king. But as time passed and the crown descended to other Maharajas, and eventually a Mughal ruler who sought to preserve the wildlife of the native land, they began working to transform the area into a nature preserve, where the villagers and royalty could live in harmony with the animals. The forces of nature are evident in this space, where man-made structures have given way to the power of the elements. Steadfast stone walls have been eroded by water, while trees have asserted their dominance and grown wherever the earth allows. These spaces have been designed to exist in harmony with nature, adapting to the passage of time and becoming more enchanting with age. Joe Rohde recently noted that, as with many of these details, you don't need to notice them. They exist in part simply to make the place seem more real. But if you were to look, they're not just decoration. they are content. For example, consider the temple walls that seem to contain the animals. In reality, the temple walls are more about defining the visitor space. The wild area where the tigers roam go off into the forest in the distance. It's as if, while you're visiting these ruins, the tigers have come in from the forest to see you. All along the trail, intricate murals tell a classic tale of man versus nature. The murals depict the 4 great kings of Anandapur, and the impression each of them left on this ancient ground. The first king is the Hunter King, who builds his hunting lodge in the jungle with plans of hunting tigers for sport. The next king represents the quintessential excess, sometimes associated with royalty. Obsessed with material wealth, he eventually loses the kingdom to the Mughals. The new Mughal ruler that becomes the third king restores the ancient temple and creates a new inner sanctuary known as the Red Temple. This space represents a new age and a new philosophy for the Maharaja, that all people, regardless of beliefs or customs, are welcome in this spiritual place. The fourth king is depicted as aged and more content to spend his time in meditation and in the presence of the natural world around him. These stone carvings convey the story of how the people of Anandapur became at peace with the animals and the land. In the first carving, we see man and beast living in harmony. In the second carving, we see the animals taking shelter under a tree. They're frightened and fear the encroachment of man and his destructive ways. Next, we find man at his worst, cutting down the forest and killing the animals. The fourth carving shows the heavens' disapproval of man's destructive ways. And finally, we see that man has learned from his mistakes, and he now once again lives in harmony with his fellow creatures. Once hunted, but now celebrated and thriving here in their sanctuary, the tigers are at home in the Royal Anandapur forest. And for this brief moment in time, we have the privilege to witness them in their rightful habitat, a space that was always literally designed by the Imagineers to weather over time. Of course, that weathering was also accelerated by design and now seems to have been crumbled to the ground, reminding us all that things are subject to the sovereignty of nature. And now to my favorite part of the trek. A breathtaking bird sanctuary brings our Maharajah Jungle Trek to a close. Leaving us with a chance to revel in the splendor of more than 50 species of birds. Don't worry, travelers not wanting to have a close encounter with the birds can choose to follow a different path, which takes them around the enclosure. Brought to life by lush vegetation and tranquil water features, this is not only one of the most peaceful spaces at Disney's Animal Kingdom, but in all of Walt Disney World. The columns in the center of the aviary are surrounded by walls adorned with colorful murals. They tell a tale of a once grand and resplendent ballroom, where the Maharaja himself would throw parties for his closest friends. Today, that spirit of celebration is alive in the vivid colors of these elegant birds, and the way that they freely soar around their palace home. It's easy to forget that we're actually in an enclosed space. At Walt Disney World, crowds are an unavoidable part of the experience. Finding spaces to escape them can be challenging, but not impossible. More than any other park, Disney's Animal Kingdom is alive with opportunities to bask in the beauty of nature and experience a moment of stillness and serenity. Here, stepping off the beaten path means stepping into an unforgettable adventure, and you never know what sort of magic is waiting just beyond what you can plainly see. So the next time you find yourself caught up in the chaos of a day at Disney, take a detour and let yourself get lost in the moment and the magic of this incredible jungle exploration.